Hey, we're back with video 3 in the formatting banjo series. The last video we looked at some rolling ideas behind the fiddle, and this is a virtual experiment where I'm choosing what instruments are taking what solos. So I'm going to assume now that maybe, I don't know, a guitar break is coming up, and this is where you have to be really careful. The guitar is almost always the weakest instrument as far as volume, unless the guitarist has a really good guitar, really confident attack, and a really good hot microphone. You know, chances are the banjo player playing into a mic and going at it really aggressively is going to drown out and squash some of the guitar notes. So you have to be real careful about volume, obviously. But you also have to be careful, just like you would with any other instrument, careful with what kind of licks and ideas you play in the background. And my rule of thumb, no pun intended, is to try to find complementary rolls or maybe chord ideas, chord rolls, something that stays out of the guitar player's way. If the guitar player goes up the neck, I typically don't want to go up the neck with the guitar player. Try to play what I call opposite ends of the neck. If the guitar player is playing really cool low stuff, maybe to keep from crossing over into that tonal range of the guitar instead of playing some of the exact same notes. Because if you think about it, the banjo, these 4 strings on the banjo, except for the D string, these middle 3 strings especially are the same as the middle 3 strings on the guitar. The 4th string, 3rd string, and 2nd string on the guitar are tuned to, you know, D, G, and B. So some of the ideas that you may do down here may be exactly along the same veins as what the guitar player is doing. So that would be a good time to go up the neck, maybe play some rolls. And I don't think it's really necessary for this video for me to show it a bunch of different ideas, but maybe, let's say the guitar player is playing some high stuff on the guitar, taking a really cool guitar break. I may stay down here and just do generic chord rolls. So imagine the guitar player is playing this solo here. My volume sounds pretty hot on this mic. You know, I may be a lot further out from the mic, and I may be playing a lot lighter. So let's say the guitar player is doing a bunch of low register guitar ideas, and I kind of want to stay away from that. Well, I can go up the neck, play some chord ideas. Come back low. I mean, it's really hard to say exactly what you would do, but a good idea is to kind of listen to the range of the guitar. First of all, listen to the volume. You know, if you know for sure that the banjo is going to be a lot louder than the guitar, and if you're playing into a pretty hot mic for the banjo, you're going to overpower him. So you need to watch the volume, and then try to figure out exactly what ideas he's playing, what register of the neck he's playing on, and find something that stays away from that but still sounds complementary. Worst case would be if you can't find anything that sounds complementary, you can always vamp chords, and typically, you know, when you vamp you don't hear much of the chord, but what I found some cool ideas that you can do on the banjo that kind of go along with the rhythm. Instead of playing these static chops, let the mandolin handle that, and you can play chord ideas. I find that sounds pretty nice behind the guitar player. Sometimes it's almost like you've taken over the rhythm guitar player job. Of course, you're not strumming rhythm like the guitar player would, but you're trying to find chordal ideas, big fat sounding chords where the mandolin player would probably at this point be chopping, you know, just static chords I call them, you know, not really concentrating too much on big full sounds, but just the rhythm part of the chord. So try maybe some chordal ideas in the background behind the guitar, see how that works. So now we're going to assume that maybe the good old dobro player is going to take a solo. Well, the same ideas apply to the dobro as they do any other instruments. And instead of me playing a bunch of ideas, just use your imagination and imagine what the dobro player is doing. Listen to what the mandolin player is doing, the fiddle player is doing. Somebody usually takes over those static chops. Maybe the fiddle player is doing this on the bow. The mandolin player is chopping. If you have a dobro player, you'll have to be careful with the dobro. Also, try to play opposite ends of the neck, do rolls. If there's spaces to do rolls, make them generic sounding rolls that are chord based up the neck. And if the dobro player is going up high, maybe you want to roll down low. And you make it even try some of those chord ideas for the dobro that you did for the banjo. That you did for the guitar. So again, instead of rehashing that, you know, just imagine that that's going on. Now, let's say the banjo comes up for, I don't know, maybe the banjo player gets the last solo. I'm not going to play a solo here, but you would know how to do the solo. Most players, you know, that's what they think about most of the time is the solo anyway. So chances are you've already got a solo worked out. So you've done your solo, and since this song has vocals, I'm going to imagine that this virtual band wants me, the banjo player, to take the last solo in the song. And so maybe I'll do that here. And then maybe they want me to do the ending, and typically it will be like a tag ending, some kind of standard, you know, formatted ending. And banjo players have a lot of kickoffs that they learn, just like other instruments. You have introductions and endings and fills that they're standard ideas that everybody learns. So what you need to do now is figure out what type of ending, how long it's going to be. And that would be up to the band to decide, you know, or if it's in a jam session, they kind of look at each other and decide on the fly how it's going to be. But maybe I'll pick just a few standardized endings here just to see what it would sound like. So I'm coming to the end of my solo. When I woke up, rain shackles on my feet. Maybe I'll just do a quick 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, a one measure ending. And that would be like a standard style Scruggs ending. Maybe I'll go up the neck. Again, that's going to last for 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. It's going to be a one measure ending. Maybe it's going to be that standard ending, which is syncopated, but will last for a measure. And it could be that they want you to do a different type of, you know, ending, but that's something you'll have to work out as a band. But typically, most of these endings have a certain amount of time that they're prescribed to last. So what you have to do is figure out how to come out of your solo and then go to the ending. So maybe I'll do a chime ending. I don't know, but typically for a song like this, you would have like a measure ending. So that's going to conclude this little series. I hope this has been helpful for you. But again, remember, this is just a virtual experiment. And I'm choosing what instruments are taking lead and breaks and where the banjo fits in and all that. You can rearrange this virtual band any way you want and just experiment with trying different ideas behind other instruments. And remember to always try to complement what the other players are doing, and then take a good strong solo, come in the song well and exit well, and you'll have a job well done. I appreciate you watching. See you next time.